Hello and welcome to the Joy Corner. I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters, and I'm here to be maybe giving you a little mini lesson in something that may help you in your life as you go along. Now, this usually has always been the Joy Corner. I am affirmations, but I'm starting something a little different because I felt moved to so do this. And there won't be more than 10 minutes if I can help it. I don't have anything set in mind other than the title. So we'll see how this goes and we'll see if it's something that resonates with you. So this one's all about when to know when it's time to start anew and then how do you do it? And in 10 minutes, I'm not going to be able to give you a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, when do you know when it's time to start anew? Well, you might feel like it's a new year. Maybe it's time to do it now. Or you might feel like I'm feeling like there should be more in my life. Or maybe you're feeling like you're bored or you're in a rut or whatever it may be. So it's time to do something different. And when I say start anew, I don't necessarily mean your entire life. I mean start anew in a section of your life, in a piece of your life, even if it's this much of a piece of your life, something that will change the way things are going right now. So, how do you know? It's always a feeling. Or maybe it's time to start anew because you got fired or somebody served you with divorce papers, and so it's time to start anew. You may need the time to grieve the last job, grieve the partnership, the whatever it is that you're moving from, but at some point you need to know it's time to move forward or you'll get stuck in the past. So when you look at it and you go, here I am. I'm mourning this relationship or I'm mourning this job, this career I thought I had, and everything was looking good. And something happened. They downsized, they did something. You got served with the divorce papers, something happened. And it made you have to change. That's starting anew because you have no choice. But there's also the starting anew because you have the choice. And if you are looking at why it's a lot of times when to do it is because you have that feeling, the feeling of there's got to be more, or I'm so bored, or I'm stuck in a rut, or there's just got to be something better than this. So when you get to that point, realize you do not have to do your entire life. Just change one thing to start with. And it doesn't have to be changing careers or changing jobs if you don't want to. It can be, and that can be freeing. Changing relationships, it can be freeing, but you might just want to do one little thing. If you're starting anew, perhaps if you're in a relationship, you start doing one thing different in the relationship. And that's maybe seeing it differently because maybe you start appreciating one thing about that person you're with because there was obviously some reason why you chose to be with them in the first place. So, if you are appreciating something about them, then it sort of has the ball rolling and it starts changing everything because they may start shifting how they're responding to you. Do I think don't do too much over the top if it is a relationship because sometimes people that think that you're hiding something. But, don't keep bringing flowers every week unless you bring like one rose or something. But do something that would shift it even this much because then it won't be so hard for you to keep doing it and it won't be so unusual or weird or feel off for you because you're not ready for the bigger things yet. But if you're looking at starting anew, indeed, you can go ahead. You can change jobs. You can go to school to change a career or just change a career. You can divorce somebody. You can do the big things. Those are the things that people are nervous about. So you stick where you're at for years, maybe, because you don't want to move forward. It's too big of a change. So find something small that you can do if you can't do the bigger thing. If you're not ready for the bigger thing, try appreciating is a good word. Do it appreciating your boss if there's any way you can do it. Appreciating something about your job that you like if you think you want to change it. Or if it's about that where you live, appreciating your neighbors if they're good, even if you hate your house or it has a lot of issues. Or if you hate your neighbors, appreciate the view you have from your house. I mean, find something to love about where you are or what you're doing or who you're with because that will shift your perspective in a huge way over time. It'll shift your personality if you're always negative about something and you start finding something to appreciate and have gratitude for. Your whole being will start shifting. So you don't have to do a huge thing when I say start anew. If you're ready, by all means, do what you feel is ready, that you're ready for, that's right for you. But if you're not, it's okay to start small. Even if you feel it's a teeny tiny little shift, somebody may or may not notice it. But if you feel different when you do it, then it is starting anew in a very small way. And that can be a fabulous thing. It can be just what you need. So look at your life and figure out if you want to make shifts and make changes. Look at the sections that that's either the easiest to make changes in, or especially if you're new at deciding to do something different, or look at the one that's the squeaky wheel, the one you really want to change, whether it's the relationship or the job or the whatever it may be. And I use those two because they're the two most obvious things. But if you look at the squeaky wheel and go, this is driving me crazy, those are the ones that will make the most difference, even with the tiniest change. But if you aren't ready for that, feel free to do something smaller. Finding a new hobby can be a small starting anew. Going to a new class once a week. Working out, which is not something I like to do, but finding an exercise buddy, doing or walking buddy, just doing something small, even if it's just a 20-minute walk. Especially if you have a dog, then you have an excuse like I do, because you have somebody to go with or someone depending on you to go out. And if you have that, you're more likely to make those changes if you feel like, well, I guess I should do this, or I guess I should do that because somebody else is waiting on me. So sometimes having a buddy for those type of changes are really good. So that may help you with starting anew in whatever area that you're doing. For me, I feel like I'm out of shape. So I do have a dog and I do walk. Not very much. I don't hike, but I do have 6 minutes a day that I do this little exercise routine that I got online. And so I try and do it every morning, and I almost do it every morning. And that's a big shift for me because I was doing nothing except walking the dog, very small walks. So, like to the mailbox down the end of the street. So, if you look at your life and you want to do something to start anew, which is why you're listening because you're thinking about this, then go ahead and look at the area in your life that would be the easiest or the hardest to start anew in and find at least a small way of doing it. Something that shifts your patterns, shifts your mindset, so that then each change and each thing you want to do to start anew, each different area of your life becomes easier instead of harder when you do it. Well, that's all from me today. So I hope that you like this new format, and I would love to hear from you. So if you say, no, no, go back to the affirmations, that's what I listen for, then by all means, leave me a comment. And if you like the idea of these mini lessons, then by all means, I'd like to hear about that too. In the meantime, I hope that you have a fabulous day and that you know that you are already enough to have all these beautiful, wonderful things that you may desire because I know that you are.